Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Vashar Kahakudash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Well, as well as peace and blessings at the wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit wind lawyer, and today I want to go into a topic entitled "We've been attacked since birth, man." All right, we've been attacked. They've been at us since birth, man. They being Esau, Edom, man. You see, we've been attacked since birth. All right. And I was just meditating on how Jake, and I was watching Elder Apostle Gabar's video about being a visionary. All right, because Jake has to be a visionary. Most Israelites, they think in pictures. The first language was Paleo Hebrew, but the original symbols were pictures, you know? And I have reason to believe that the language of the mind is pictures. When the Most High, hey, Shalom, hey, the sister got the Hebrew symbols up, man. Come on, man. All right, but those original Paleo symbols were pictures. And I have reason to believe that the language of the mind is pictures. It's not words, it's pictures. Words is a second language. Words is a second language. All right? But there's a language that you're hardwired to comprehend, and it's pictures. You know, they have certain pictures on walls, certain languages on walls, and the first languages were really illustrations. The so-called cave drawings, even the Egyptian hieroglyphs, all right? Those were pictures. And it's not that, you know, languages didn't evolve to words, but the first language is pictures. And the language of the mind, that Israelite mind, that Adam, the Adam mind, the mind of Adam, the mind of Shem, all right, the mind of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it's a language of images. Okay? And I'm saying all that to say, one second, let me get over it. That Jake has been attacked since birth because Esau knows Jake. Esau knows Jake, man. Esau knows how Jacob operates to a science. Esau knows you better than you know you in a lot of ways. He knows the nature of your forefathers. He knows the behavior of your forefathers. He knows what they did in their life and how they move as a people. He knows that so-called Negro man. All right. And I've noticed that we've been attacked since birth. For one, if you didn't get aborted, you definitely got vaccines, man, as a baby. All right, you got vaccinated as a baby. And there's so many Jakes that are now on the spectrum. You see? On the autistic spectrum, man. So many, man. Ain't that a motherfucker, man? So many, man. All right? But one thing about autism, a lot of those Jakes, they're very visual, man. And it's hard for them to articulate those things that they see in their mind, all right, and express it in the left hemisphere of their brain, or express it with words. But it's there. You see? You see? All right, but Jake is a visionary, man. Jake is visual, man. All right. In the school system, because around 3rd, 4th grade, Jake started struggling a little bit, man. All right. 5th, 6th grade, Jake started to struggle. But Esau has it like that on purpose. Because he wants you to fall, man. He wants you to fall through his cracks. He wants you to fall through his system, man. So Esau has scientific racism in which he has through his science, his pseudoscience, his fake science, that we are genetically inferior. And when he regurgitates this false information about so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, they're lower in test scores. That's a psychological attack in us, man. we struggle with math and science. We have lower scores when it comes to math and science, man. That's a psychological attack. So that's like one of the first things that affects your self-esteem is you not comprehending in school. It fucks with your self-esteem, your self-confidence, man. Real shit. But for one, you're learning a curriculum in another language, in another, not only another language, but in another way, another world, man. That's outside of your world, man. How Esau teaches, man. All right, Abraham, it tells you in the scriptures that Abraham, I believe it's in the Josephus, Abraham knew arithmetic and all that. That's not some profound Grecian discovery. It's not some motherfucking profound Grecian discovery, man. And that's not even some fucking profound Egyptian discovery, man. That's the sons of God, the sons of Yahweh science, man, that we had in the garden. All right, because the garden wasn't just some orchard, man. That was a metaphor for the first civilization, the first world, man. All right, Earth was a paradise, man. All right, but it had a government system within the first paradise, man. All right, and the sons of God were a part of that governing body. All right, how do we know? Because Abba willing is us, we came back under Yahweh as the governing body. The 1/3, the elect, the house of David, that's the governing body. But there's a governing body in the garden. All right? But we had the science to engineer civilizations back then. All right? But part of the attack, and best believe it was an attack, and it was systemically ingrained in our system, that Jake was going to fail in school because it fed into the racist narrative, the psychological attack that we're intellectually inferior, man. This goes back to slavery. But Jake is a visionary, man. And you think you're doing wrong, you think you're doing bad for daydreaming in school. No, they when you were taught in school, they did not feed into your visionary predisposition, man. Your language is a vision. Your language is symbols. Hebrew is a symbolic, it's a symbol, a language of symbols. Those first characters were symbols. Okay? And even when Jake talks, he gesticulates. He gesticulates, meaning he explains with his hands, his gestures. All right? Certain Jakes don't come off as all that articulate, but they're so visual, man. But they're speaking a foreign language. That's why they speak like that. And I speak as a man, because I don't know for sure, but I believe because Jake is speaking a foreign language, that's outside of his wiring, man. It's outside of his wiring to just speak English so eloquently, man. And you know, because Hebrew is a very masculine, just A plus B equals C language. It's not an additive, you know, pronoun and, you know what I mean, technically, and, you know, it's just A plus B equals C. You see? How in the world can Floyd Mayweather, you know, not be all that articulate per se, but he excels in boxing like that, man? But nonetheless, not even that. You had mathematical geniuses that came over here on cargo slave ships. They were human calculators. See, Esau wants you to think that, Esau wants you to make you think that being an athlete or a thug is where you should be, is where it's at. But Esau ain't making an effort to be an athlete or a thug. Esau wants to run the world. He wants to have the Grammy per se for being the most intelligent, because the superiority is in the intelligence, within the intelligence. All right, but our intelligence comes from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So, all right, between the crack epidemic, all right, between the processed food epidemic, all right, Esau's attacking Jake, man. But that public school curriculum is trash. It's pure trash, man. Because you can really be a bright boy or a girl, but the curriculum is trash and it's not in alignment with how you function as a man, as a child. And it plays into your confidence, man. See? Esau dumbed down the school system, all right? Because he just got this shit to where you gonna be a worker. He just wants your ass to be a worker in his warehouse, man. A worker in his cubicle. He doesn't really want you to think. But the Most High wired a man's mind to create the civilization within his mind, to create worlds within his mind. And then you use the math and the science as a tool to take the creation that's inside of your mind and bring it into fruition in reality. That's why if you look around you on your way to work, you'll see buildings, you'll see residential neighborhoods, you'll see commercial properties, you'll see urban planning, all these things start within a man's mind. All right? But one thing you have to heal from is the fallacy that, you know, it came from Edomite's mind. No, you're the creator. You were created to create, man. All right, you were created to create and procreate. Well, your mind works the way it does because you are creating. And don't let anybody tell you anything differently. That's what makes you a son of Yahweh. Hey, in the book of Proverbs, the 8th chapter, the NLT, you know, Yahweh Shai was personified as wisdom. And Yahweh Shai said, I was the architect by his side. Peep that, man. Yahweh Shai said that he was the architect by Yahweh's side. And this is the book of Proverbs, the 8th chapter, New Living Translation. Okay? He was the architect, man. All right, and all Jake don't think exactly alike, but just generally, man, Jake is a very visual person. I grew up, all right, the portion of Jacob is not like him, all right? I grew up in rap culture, urban culture, rap culture. Jake wanted to rap. But, hey, for brothers that's familiar with rapping, man, rapping starts in your mind. You be thinking of ideas. You might be thinking of images and you articulate it on a sheet of paper, or you might freestyle it, but it's very creative. But it doesn't stop at rapping, man. Engineering and civilization starts within your mind. Your connection with Yahweh starts within your mind. Why do you think this man has anti-Yahweh chemicals in your mind, within the food? You know, I call it anti-Yahweh chemicals because it keeps you out of tune with Yahweh. You know, processed food, things of that nature. You know? But the more I learn in this truth, the more I self-discover. You know? And granted, you know, the earth is polluted. Nothing is, no food group is just safe. It's only the best and the worst. But going back to Genesis, the original diet for the Hebrew man, the Israelite man, was fruit. The original language for the Israelite man or the Hebrew man was words. Pictures. The original food, every species has a food for its species. The original food was fruit. Like I said, you can't really sustain yourself exclusively off that now. But you have to know, like, how the Most High wired you to understand that we're moving out of tune with our natural design. The original language for the Israelite man is pictures. One time I was explaining something, I was helping young Jake with his homework. It was actually my nephew. I was over at my sister's house, and I was explaining something to him, but me had read these articles about being visual, and I knew my nephew liked to draw. When I moved my hands, when I was explaining, I was purposely making my hands into symbols as I was explaining something to my nephew, and it's like a light bulb came on, man. School system is trash, man. You want to teach a Jake, make sure you use symbols, man. You know, music as well. You know? But if you don't understand how you're wired to think, you would think you're flawed, man. You're not flawed. You're in another man's reality. This is not your reality. You know? You had Jakes and brothers to tell you they've had grandfathers that dropped out of school in the 3rd grade but they could build a house. They dropped out of school in the 3rd grade back in the old days, yet they could build a house. Now, I didn't drop out of school, but I can't build no motherfucking house. Well, I can't say I can't, but I haven't. You see? Because like, hey, Lawrence Fishburne's character in Boys in the Hood, can't should have been a man's vocabulary. Because one thing I noticed that this school system and Edomite supremacy attack was the competence of a so-called black man. Because you've already accepted that somebody else can do it better than you. The Israelite man, you just kind of assume that Esau is more competent than you, man. And he is not. He just had a better fucking upbringing, man. You know? There's one thing that the Israelite man has to know, that he is capable. And he's more capable than anybody on this fucking planet. You know? So one thing I've learned this captivity did, it took your competence away. And more in depth, it took your belief in yourself away. And it reminds me of the lion from the movie The Wizard of Oz. The lion lacked courage. And that's something that this scripture says, thy wound is incurable, man. You have an incurable wound. And part of that incurable wound, I've noticed, that attacks us, attacks a lot of us brothers, is self-doubt. Self-doubt, man. And what I've noticed, all that shit is an illusion within the mind. Self-confidence, the fear of failure. But the reality is, when you first start a new project or a new endeavor, you're probably going to fail. Because this is the first time you're doing it. No, you fail to excel. You fail, then you acclimate, then you get better. You see? You start out failing, but you acclimate and you get better. Some of us fear rejection from women because, you know, Eve is Eve. But as far as the other races of women, all right, you're the most handsome man on this planet. Esau had to put it in his movies to make everybody like Esau or to think Esau was attractive. But in nature, we're the most handsome man, the handsome on this planet. You see? But Esau has attacked us. And Esau knows that the brokest nation of people are the Israelites in America. But have you noticed that he has Eve attacking Jake because they broke? Or you hear a song, every song on a nigga station, it attacks you because you broke. And I don't mean broke like you don't have a job, you ain't supporting yourself. I mean broke like you just working to pay bills. And that's most Jakes, man. But we're attacked for that shit. But that shit fucks with you, man, if you're not careful. You know? You have to understand you are him. And not on some vain shit, but the Most High had himself in mind when he molded you through these clay figures. He had an image in his mind when he molded you in these clay figures, in these earthen bodies. He made you after himself. Yeah. We are yet this day in our captivity. But it started, man, 3rd, 4th grade, Jake has been psychologically attacked. And I've heard of studies saying that people can tell by the time a child is like 2nd, 3rd grade if he's gonna be a criminal. What type of shit is that? You got this shit set up to where Jake is gonna be a criminal, man. Esau just so fucking surgical with his science now. He got his shit so to a science, it makes it seem like Jake is just willfully a degenerate. Jake is just willfully an animal, a monster. But really, you engineered this nigga, man. You engineered Jake, man. You engineered this man to cause his own chaos, man, and to cause chaos in his own environment, and only his environment. That's not natural. If you're a monster, nigga, if you this savage, you're a savage everywhere. But most Jakes, they're only savages in their own habitation. So that's how we know what Esau had some type of engineering behind this shit, man. You know? Don't get me wrong, Jake, you have a choice. Like Jake is, you know, Jake know better, but you've been engineered with a limited capacity. You've been cultured of a limited capacity, man. And Eve wants you to think you ain't shit either. But I believe she's just a handler to Edomite supremacy. She handles you on a psychological level. She wants you to think that you're incompetent, man. All because you might not know this word, that doesn't mean you're incompetent, man. Because women don't have it, man. Women ain't got it, man. All right? You see? A lot of when I talk about Israelite boys, I know a lot of sisters who watch this. They probably have sons, and you just gotta know, like, your son, some of that shit he struggled with. Hey, you know, a lot of it is the school system. Then a lot of times the parents are busy, you know. But hey, that boy ain't dumb, man. That boy is not dumb. That might be the topic. That boy not dumb, man. You know, he's learning a curriculum that's outside of his way. The way is a Yahweh B'Shem Shai, but our language is pictures, man. That's why I believe Jake gesticulates. He speaks with his hands. He's describing. To scribe something means to write, like a scribe. But Jake has to describe with his fucking body, man. All right. Hey, but with that, I hope this is edifying. You know, just part of waking up to this truth is learning who the fuck you are, man. But to the next time, shalom.